Illuminated Faith project illustrates our belief that within each of us is the light of God. It is a celebration of our call as a faith community to share in the joys and worries and wisdom that is deep within us. Listen as Sue Williams shares her belief in Earth as our greatest teacher, cultivating in her a deep and profound love of God.
I believe in the sanctity of the earth, and while the earth is not God, it is drenched in divinity, from all the humanity that dwells upon it to every critter, blade of grass, insect, tree, and flower. The earth teaches us everything we truly need to know. It demonstrates with Jesus the Christ the universal pattern of death and resurrection, loss and recovery, darkness and light. I am not speaking here in mere metaphors. Each time we suffer and notice that in time we reach a level of newness, we are participating with God in eternal healing. Each time we surrender to this eternal principle, to the many illnesses, pains, and many deaths in our lives, we begin to see as God sees, with profound love and understanding. Our fear of the ultimate death will be diminished because now we trust that God's faithful promises never fail. I learned about this principle many years ago as a young gardener. My perennial flowers returned each spring, flourished in the summer, faded in the fall, and seemed to die in the winter. This seasonality is a simple teacher, but it points to a much deeper truth, that the movement of the earth and the death and resurrection of Jesus are one and the same pattern. We, like Jesus, are made of the stuff of the earth, and we, like the flower in spring, will bloom again. As Jesus taught, be not afraid. Trust God and the earth as a guide for the journey ahead, wherever it may lead. In 2010, I suffered a rare and devastating illness, Guillain-Barré syndrome, which paralyzed the extremities of my body. My life fell apart. I had to leave my job, give up my gardens, stop visiting my grandchildren and elderly mother, stop creating art, and stop singing in the choir. Loss everywhere. I was filled with fear. After several tormented months, I remember thinking, I must not lose hope. Light always follows darkness. I can do this. I knew from my doctors that recovery was possible. So every morning I spent time in my prayer room, reading, praying, visualizing my own healing with Jesus at my side. After many months of this practice, I experienced a stunning moment. I heard a still, small voice say to me, "Get up and walk. You are healed." Though still terribly awake, I wobbled to my feet and felt myself in a virtual embrace with Jesus. Weeks later, as I was hobbling in the church parking lot, our minister approached and said, "How are you doing? You look good." I placed my hand over my heart and replied, "My legs are still a mess, but I'm healed here." Pastor Rick replied, "And that's where it counts." After a short period, I was shocked when I realized that I had no more fear, sadness, impatience, doubt, or anxiety. I was completely healed, just as God, not I, intended. Our ways are not God's ways, are they? Gratitude blossomed. I still live with considerable weakness, but so be it. My prayer practice continues, and I am so in love with God, with all humanity, and with my beloved earth. Amen.